Ancient accounts say that for more than 400 years, Alexander the Great's body was preserved and revered in a great tomb in the Egyptian city that he founded, Alexandria. But at the end of the 4th century AD, a series of religious revolutions rocked Egypt. First, the Christian faith dominated, then Islam. The cult of Alexander was driven underground. His great tomb was forgotten or torn down, leaving no clue as to the whereabouts of his body.
I think one of the real possibilities was that he was protected by people who still believed in the old religion, the old Greco-Roman pagan religion.
Many scholars have come to believe that the time came when Alexander's body was transported to a place of safety. Dr. Zahi Hawass has followed the trail to the Bahariya Oasis, 200 miles from Alexandria. Here in 1996, a donkey belonging to a member of his team literally stumbled upon one of the greatest finds in Egyptology. Excavations soon revealed this area to be a cemetery, some of the burials so rich that this place is now known as the Valley of the Golden Mummies. Different races, different traditions. Something drew a huge range of people here in vast numbers.
They were Roman, they were Greek, they were Bedouin, they were Egyptians. They lived together at Bahariya Oasis, and they were buried together in this great golden cemetery.
What better place to hide the pagan lord than amongst this huge burial field of thousands of others, and anonymously so.
What drew people to this remote site? The answer may lie in this temple, the oldest structure on the site. And though its construction appears humble, its walls bear the image of antiquity's greatest warrior, the self-proclaimed pharaoh and god, Alexander.
This is Alexander the Great standing and holding some offering here in his hand. And we have here Ammon on the other side.
He claimed Ammon as his father. The temple had become a center away from the great cities of Egypt for the cult that believed in Alexander's divine status.
And that's why the location of the Valley of the Golden Mummies was in front of the temple, because the people will come and enter inside the temple and give offering. And if you look, you can see the amount of pottery that exists. And this can give us an idea that the cult of Alexander the Great continues for a long time.
There is evidence to suggest that this site was a place of worship until 600 AD. Is it possible that people were still worshiping Alexander as a god?
When Egypt became Christian, there's no church in Bahariya. They may well have been using Alexander's age-old pagan temple as a kind of meeting place, a congregation place. This suggests that the early Greek Christians had a strange relationship with Alexander the Great.
There are many more mummies, perhaps thousands, unexamined, undiscovered beneath this landscape. It's impossible to rule out the idea that Alexander's body lies among them.
The only thing that I'm sure of, that the people who were buried here, they wanted to be near Alexander the Great.
The tomb of Alexander may never be found, but what has become clear is that he had more than one burial. It's somehow fitting for a man who held so many titles, played so many roles, and had so much power. Buried first in Memphis, probably in the Saqqara necropolis. It was certain that he was then transported to lie in the north in his Alexandrian tomb. He lay at the heart of the ancient world. It seems possible that even after the great empires fell, his cult endured, and his body remained in secret as an object of worship. Until that body is found, people will continue to search for it.
I think it would be spectacular to be able to find the man who changed the face of history. What he did for the world was just absolutely extraordinary.
Perhaps the tomb hunters are inching closer to their prize. The search continues unabated. 22 centuries after his death, Alexander the Great still wields irresistible power.